getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom. New moon, Israel.
That's right, man.
Shalom. Y'all know it's a double Shabbat. So we got the new moon starting today, sunset. Also, it's going to be it's a memorial holy day.
God.
And then we have the weekly Shabbat coming up as well too. So, all right, Israel, y'all know how we do.
All right, man. Let's
that's right. Just wanted to come in and just you know Israel. This is probably this is our third calendar right now.
God.
And Israel, we took a year to really research, study the Enoch calendar. Going through scriptures and digging deep. And already we're in our third year, which is amazing. So, let's give all praises and glory to the Most High for that, because it is the power of the Almighty and His ultimate wisdom that has guided us in this calendar. Okay, this calendar didn't come from our own wisdom, but it came directly from the scriptures. And I want to make sure we really point that out, is because as we grow in this faith, and as we grow in this walk, as we're keeping the commandments, we're practicing these righteous acts, like the scripture says, it's going to be up to us, Israel, to really guard these scriptures with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. And that means that you're going to come across brothers and your sisters in your workplace, your home, and family members that are going to challenge you, and you're going to have to know how to defend yourself in the scriptures. That's what the scriptures command. It says, Peter says, give it the hope for the reason that for the hope that's within you, a reason so that you can defend yourself. And this is what me and Brother Eitan have been pushing, for so long, so that you all can take these precepts that are provided in this calendar. You study them first, you become very familiar with them. Then you can start teaching others as well too. So, and that's the whole purpose. But iron, like we say, Brother Eitan, iron sharpens iron, right?
That's right.
The more you rehearse, the more you study this word, better. I got a scripture up right quick. I'm gonna just take this off for a minute. And
all right.
Go ahead and just turn your Bibles to 1 Samuel chapter 12. You said to turn there. And then thank you all for putting the one in the chat box. So I see that already, so we're good. And brother, if you hear me going out, just let me know, man.
Come on, man. You loud and clear, brother. Loud.
All right, good. All right. So 1 Samuel 12 and 7. So it says, now therefore stand still, that I may reason with you before Yahweh all the righteous acts of Yahweh which He did to you and your fathers. That's a profound statement, because that means that even throughout our generations, we are still commanded to keep the laws.
That's right.
No matter if we're in the captivity, and and our people, of course, we've been in a lot of captivities, throughout the generations and thousands of years, into this very day, and. And there's something very unique about this time, because I think, and I pray, I should say that, I really pray that Israel is getting tired of the butt whoopings, constant butt whoopings, because I don't know what it's going to take for our people to really get on board and wake up, but, like Brother Eitan said, in due time, it's going to tell us stuff and everything. Brother, feel free to jump in anytime. Yep.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just go ahead and proceed. Man, you're doing a great job. But
All right, Israel. So look, we got the calendar up, and again, we're gonna just cover some feast days. We're gonna go back to the beginning, and we're gonna go back to the Passover. Just why are these feast days important? Because they represent something. Each feast day that we have represents our deliverance in one form or the other. All right. But first, let's just talk about the new moon right quick, all right? And I know most of you already have these scriptures down pat. But of course, we know the new moon is tonight. And by the way, these new moons that we have are set to Jerusalem's time new moon. So whenever you see the new moon on the calendar that we have, it's going to always start at sunset. So like, for example, today is Thursday, right? So according to the Gregorian calendar on the 24th, but actually it's the 8th day of the 9th month. Let me pull that down so you can see the 9th month. All right, see the 9th month there. All right, so what does this mean? So for those of you who are new and don't understand what the new moon is about, well, the new moon is a monthly feast celebration. It is a Shabbat. It is a holy day. Now, there is a difference between the new moon and the Shabbat, a slight difference. Now, the only difference between the Shabbat and the new moon is that on the new moon, you can cook. You can cook, you can do stuff around the house. But like the Shabbat, you cannot work. You cannot work to make money. Or you cannot buy or sell. So that means tonight, sunset, no buying and selling. That means that brothers and sisters, don't be going out to Walmart tomorrow trying to participate in Black Friday. We're trying to be in that line that we, that line they be getting in, man, where they be stampeding people and everything.
What's that? That Black Friday or something like that.
Yeah. Don't get caught up in that foolishness. Now, the new moon doesn't always fall on this day. It just happens that the new moon falls on this sunset. So
you had to sacrifice Black Friday this year, y'all. Sorry about that.
Yes, right. That's right. Yeah. Put your dollars away. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to a verse to prove to you that we cannot buy, sell on the new moon. So if you want to go ahead and turn to Amos chapter 8. And I'm going to go ahead and get there myself. So go ahead and Amos chapter 8. And we're going to start at verse 4. All right. Let me just mark that real quick. I had it marked. All right, Israel. Let's see here. Am I in the right one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong chapter. I'm in chapter 4. Amos chapter 8. There we go. All right. I thought I clicked on 8. I ended up clicking on 4.
All right, let's go up.
All right. Let's go ahead and read that. Let me put that up right quick on the screen. Let's hear it. All right. So make sure you write these down too. So Amos chapter 8. And let's start with verse 4. It says, "Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail." So Israel was doing some wicked stuff, though. Verse 5, saying, "When will the new moon be gone?" So they celebrated the new moon. Everybody was committed to celebrate the new moon. That was all through our generations, ever since the creation unto this very day. Our people are to celebrate the new moon. He says, "When will the new moon be gone, that we may sell grain?" You see that? Why did they want to sell grain? Because they waited for the new moon to be gone so they could sell, because they couldn't do it on the new moon. So that right there tells you that we are not to buy or sell on the new moon. And it says, "And the Shabbat, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit." I mean, these jokers are charging all kinds of interest. We're not supposed to charge interest on our brother. All right?
Yeah,
that's right. And so
wicked.
Our people were just doing wicked. But that doesn't nullify the feast days, because some people try to say that, well, a lot of people did wicked like that. Just because they did wicked, they're going to be held accountable. And so, we are to keep the glorious feast days. But though Zion, I mean, man, I'm just going to go back to the beginning. Let's scroll up, and you can see this calendar on the screen, okay, brother?
I can see it, brother.
All right. And by the way, yes, we are working on the 2023 calendar, and we ask that you just be patient with us, and because we're going to put it out shortly after the Purim, because we don't want to get mixed up and people start keeping the 2023 Purim instead of the 2022 Purim. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
And then also, if you all go to the Mind of the Brotherhood, we have all the new month lessons in the playlist under the Hebrew Israelite Enoch calendar on the Mind of the Brotherhood. So we have all 9-month lessons. We're going to be doing the 10th month shortly here. once the new month comes up and everything. So
Yeah.
just some downtime. This the Shabbat. Just go through those lessons and everything, and just studying precepts, precept after precept. All right. So let's look at the calendar. First of the year we had our Passover. Now, what was so important about the Passover? Because it was the deliverance. It was, matter of fact, it was the first feast that our forefathers celebrated since captivity when they were in Egypt. So, that was the day that they were getting ready to get up on out of it with haste. And why is that so important? It's because it represents the deliverance of our people from the bondage of Egypt. And when you read these scriptures, and you can just write them down, but when we rehearse these righteous acts, what we're doing is that we're commemorating the celebrations of the glory of the Most High. So this is all about the Most High. It's all about Hamashiach, because all the laws are wrapped around Hamashiach.
That's right.
Okay, and that's why it says in 1 John 2, and it says that if you love me, keep my commandments. And he that saith he loved me and keepeth not my commandments is a liar. So we can't say that, but you don't want to keep the feast days. We love the Mashiach, but then we hate his feast days. No, it don't work like that. What you got, brother?
Well, I know we have a lot of feast days. Well, not a lot of feast days, but of course, we have our own feast days that are coming up. But just to get on the worldly things, right? We really, like, let's say, for example, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of these so-called pagan holidays that are coming up, throughout the seasons, right? Our people may celebrate that stuff, but we got to realize that that stuff was beat into us, right? Years of captivity, slavery, right? It was beat into us for us to serve a tradition that's not our own, right? So even if you're not in the truth, right, one should question, why am I celebrating the traditions of my oppressor, right? What is my traditions? People say, this is your land, but our people have yet to be given 40 acres and a mule. So how could this be our land, right? You know what I'm saying? This land don't belong to us at all, right? We are in the land of our oppressors, right? They have not given us part of the land, right? We were slaves, right, for 400 years, right? And so now we have been raped, robbed, or murdered of our traditions, of our knowledge, of our even of our language, right? Well, we don't even speak our native tongue anymore, right? The paleo has been lost forever. So now, we're in the land of our oppressors, and we're celebrating, these holidays of our oppressor without even thinking about, what are the holidays, what are the holy days of our own people. But what's a shame though too, right? That, they'll give us these, like Martin Luther King Day and, in the days like this, but notice that they will never ever, right, give us a real holiday, a real holy day that's from our people, right? From our nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, they might have St. Patrick's Day, Mardi Gras, and Cinco de Mayo over here, right? Those are from other nations. They'll celebrate that here in the United States, but they will not celebrate one of your true bloodline holy days, because they know that right there will reveal that you are the true chosen people of God, right? That we are the real Israelites. That's why all the history is hidden. That's why they want us to come under toe and then worship all the things that they worship. They don't want us to have our own mind. They don't want us to have our own economy, like I'm saying, and they don't want us to have our own land. That's why they'll never give us a piece of it. We never get 40 acres of the mule, right? They want you to continue over here in their doctrines of the wicked, so we can stay asleep, right? Instead of giving you freedom, right? Instead of giving you 40 acres of the mule, they gave you jobs, right? They give you jobs instead, because they don't want you to be real owners of any real land over here, right? So they can always have the power, right? It's amazing. I got aggravated with a brother earlier. I was playing with, and this brother was like, "Oh, I'm living my best life. women and you know what I'm saying, and women and getting this bread. You know, and I'm just like laughing. The dude was like 20 years old, and he's my people, you know. And I'm like, man, just absolute idiotic. I mean, just the mind frame behind that, you know. And then I guarantee you, you know, he's somewhere eating ham hocks and a fat, you know, piece of turkey leg. You know, so right now, some cranberry and you know, sitting on the side, you know, being wicked as hell, you know, celebrating Thanksgiving. Our people just really, they have to wake the hell up. We have to wake up.
You know, I did a video on this holiday Thanksgiving, and this pagan, and it goes all the way back to child sacrifice. Hey, before I go on, I want to answer this brother's question right quick. Great Peace says, Brother Daniel, you said we can do stuff around the house on new moon. So can we wash dishes or clothes? Absolutely. As long as you're not like making money from it, but of course, you know, yes, you can do things around the house, play pool, play games, video games, whatever, because it's a feast celebration. So it's designed to be a thing when you come together with families, you celebrate the new moon and glorying the Most High in His creation, because that's what it's all about, His creation. So yes, it's a day to have fun. You know, all the feast days actually, except for the Day of Atonement, because that's a day of affliction. So you know, we have to be fasting on that day. But the new moons are a great celebration feast. You know, we get together. Like if I was down there where Ak was, you know, where Brother Aton was, man, we'll have a setup every new moon. I mean, it'll be awesome. That's what a lot of the brothers do. You know, they'll have gatherings at the house. You know, have some lamb or what have you, and then they'll do. You know, they just go over the new moon, talk about the new moon, and they'll just fellowship all night. That's what it's all about. It's that monthly celebration that you get with your brews, with the rest of your brews that you celebrate. But just getting back to what Brother Aton was saying, write this scripture down, Proverbs 3:31, because he's right. Because our people, you know, when it comes to these holidays, our people are the biggest ones that will try to outdo the heathens in trying to celebrate these holidays. So when you look at Proverbs 3:31, and if someone can put that in the text box, Proverbs 3:31, it says, "Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Now, you know, why do you think the Most High actually said this? Because He knew that it was going to come a time where our people were going to be in captivity, and when our people are in captivity, you know, it's like they're going to take on the customs of the heathens, and like Brother Ethan was saying earlier, you know, it's because it is captivity. You know, they're not going to let us celebrate our holy days. They're not going to even acknowledge it. Hell, they don't even acknowledge us being Israelites, because what do they call us? They call us black. They call us colored, African American. You know, they call us everything except for Israelites. You know, our true title, our true bloodline name that we were given. You know, and so, you know, they're gonna continue to try to suppress all this stuff, but they're not gonna be able to do it, because our people are rising up, and as our people are getting back to these laws, commandments, and statutes, you know, the power is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. All right, and that's why these Ish people, I call them Ish people. I don't even put the J before it, because you know, it has no relation to it. But these Ish people, you know, they love to try to block us and to try to do all manner of things to bring us down. And I'm going to show you proof of that. If you go to Psalms chapter 2 right quick. And all right, and this is a precept to Psalms 83 as well. So it says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" And it says, "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against His Mashiach." So right there, you know, already what it's saying, that they think they're going to be able to war against the Father and the Son. All right, that's probably why they're trying to create this space program, because, you know, Space Force thing. They ain't gonna have the slightest chance against the Most High. And in verse 3 it says, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. Adonai shall have them in derision. Then shall He speak unto them in His wrath, and vex them in His sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." You know, the Most High is not playing around. And it behooves the people of the Most High to really practice these righteous acts and to put aside these substances and stop celebrating these holidays. Because they're not doing nothing for our people but keeping our people in sin and sending them to destruction. So, but I'm just, like I said, we just got to pray for our people that they see the light and come out of this stuff. And I wanted to show you something else, brother. Before I show that Enoch 20, do you have anything?
Yeah, man. Just to touch on what you were saying about that space crap, right? Hey, Israel, I want y'all to peep that this new ship that they have is called the Artemis. And they have claimed to send it to the moon, right? But the thing is, all of the technology, even the technology that they had way back, what was that, the 60s, I believe it was, right? When they first did that one mission, right? They're not showing you no live feed, right? And and the words they're giving is not photos, you're getting imagery, right? So you don't never get to see any of this live stuff going on, even though, right, we're all these years later and the technology is so much greater. Mysteriously, you don't get a live feed of them on the way to the moon, right? This is going to be another Walt Disney production, right? The grand production, grand scheme, because they know too many people are asking questions, right? You're not going to get to the moon, right? Them heathens, you're not going to get to the moon, right? For our people, Thanksgiving is not real. Christmas is not real. Mashiach was not born in the winter. He was born in the spring, right? That would be the first of the year, not the winter, right? And then nowhere in the scriptures does it say celebrate his birthday anyways, right? So, we just got to really, get dialed in, right? We need to really be focused and get this doctrine streamlined, right? So we can get a true understanding and then come together as a people and try to, at least stray away from the heathen with our actions. Like, we don't have to fight against these heathen. We don't got to do any of that. But at least we got to just come away amongst these heathen, right, with our actions, right? Even if you're around there sitting eating a turkey, right, man, thinking about your forefathers and your ancestors that have died, fighting the oppression of these heathen, right? They didn't want to eat no damn turkey, right? They don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving, right? Our people, I'm sure at one time they bucked until they was, beaten into submission until them holding the days, their wicked ass holidays, right? But here our people are today willingly, right? 4th of July, man, you got niggas out here in red, white, and blue whole outfits, even shoes, down to the shoes out here, running around in a circle like they're a damn fool.
It's crazy. Independence Day, speaking of Independence Day, it's like our people, dressing up in that stuff, and all you're doing is celebrating the slavery of your own people.
Damn right.
That's insane.
Wickedness.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Op.
Yeah. I mean, Israel, look, man, come on. And if our people don't get it by now, a lot of them are going to have a hard time, trying to get it. These holidays and all that stuff, it's wickedness, and they push this stuff. They try to push this stuff hard on our people constantly. And this,
right.
and like brother understand, we have to separate ourselves by our actions. Now that's a profound statement, because how do we do that? By our actions. That means not taking part in their holidays. That's how you do it. Don't be going out to these Christians. Stop going to these Christian churches. Encourage these other brothers and sisters to stop going to these Christian churches. Encourage these brothers to stop buying these products from these heathens. Because we're the main ones that's supporting them. They continue to try to oppress us and to keep us under their thumb, because they know that we're the biggest consumers. And once we come out of that zone of madness, we can start rising up as a people. Right, there's a couple of things I want to show you. Go ahead, brother. I want to pull up something right quick. Before I do it, I want to show you, because you were on a good point about the space program, the whole space thing. And I want to show you something, Israel, right quick, before I hand it back over to my brother here. I'm going to show you something out of Enoch chapter 20. All right. So this is the book of Enoch that I received off the website. What's the brother's name? Jediah Malik. He has like a printing press, so he does this in Hebrew and as well too. So I wanted to focus on chapter 20 and verse 4, and it's in the Apocrypha, but it's also in the Sefer as well. And it says, verse 4 says, Reuel means friend of Elohim. one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Now, I wanted to bring that out specifically because man has lied for hundreds of years, decades, that they went to the moon and this and that. They've been out of space and all this stuff, that the earth is round. But no man has ever been outside the firmament, Israel. And they lie about everything. Even Psalms chapter 58, and I believe it's verse 3, it says that the wicked are estranged from the womb and they go forth lying, deceiving the whole world. That's all these people have ever done was just lied, you know? And they cannot, because this angel right here is like, you're not gonna get past this angel. You ain't gonna get past any of the 7 angels. And talking about they went to space and talking about they landed on the moon, all this mess and everything. And and their slip is all their behind is showing now, because people are starting to find out the truth about the flat earth and the whole lies about them saying that the earth is round all this time. So more and more people, believe it or not, are starting to come on board with that. All right, brother.
All right, I want to get on to, it says, until we get our own money, land, government, police, then the world equality will never fit our people. Shalom. Khan. Now, hey man, we gotta check a nigga paperwork. Make sure they ain't snitching, for the while, right? Hey, right. So, as long as our people strive for equality, we ain't gonna never have nothing. All right. You gotta realize that, just like in Second Ezra, it says that the world was, I'm gonna pull that up real quick, right?
Yeah.
Hey, put me on the screen real quick. Put my scriptures on the screen. Yeah. Con, right? Con. So, right, the scriptures say in 55, it says, all this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, right? The Most High made the world for us, right? So we can't be looking to be, equal with these heathen, right? Saying our mission should be to, by keeping these commandments, this is going to put us above all other nations. This is going to give us a chance to become rulers and kings upon the earth, sit in our rightful position and run this thing, right? Once we start thinking about, we want to be equal to these heathen or anything like that, right? It's done. And the reason why we'll never have our own land or government or any of that is because, number one, our land is Israel. The Most High done kicked us out of there for not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, and for not sticking together, right? Just like we are now, right? We're a split people. We're all over the earth. We don't keep the commandments. We're not together, right? We don't help each other, right? We always, we don't do anything, right? We've taken the way of the heathen, right? I mean, like, man, all of us, the majority of our people, right? They live in more like the heathen than the heathen themselves, right? And see, until we come back to the Most High and start separating ourselves, and that doesn't mean by violence. We don't have to worry about that, because once we start keeping these commandments, right, that's going to blow the horn for Hamashiach is ready for him to come back and start, waxing these wicked ass, heathens asses up in here. They're going to have to get, they're going to have to get dealt with. The scripture said that all these heathens that are being born now, they are being born for the sword. That's it.
Yep.
Right. It's just up to us to get right. But as long as we, over here being wicked, right, celebrating these wicked ass pagan, holidays that was beaten to our people, just that alone should make you want to buck, right? Just knowing that was beaten to your people should make you want to fight back. You know what I'm saying? At least not do it. You don't have to do it. We don't have to get out here and get guns and doing all that, because that's stupid. Number one, right? Because we don't have an army, right? We don't have a navy. We don't have to do anything. If you really want to get to these heathen, all we have to do is start keeping the commandments, start keeping the holy days, and step out of whatever the hell we doing, right? Our nation alone, right? We spent more money in this heathen economy than all Mexico, than all of Mexico last year, and a couple of other countries I was looking at, right? which is absolutely amazing. Because if we just pull out alone, let's say, we don't go to the market and start buying all these stupid ass turkeys, right, on this Thanksgiving day, right? Saying we don't go to all of a sudden start, helping out the white man and all of his businesses, because ain't none of you niggas don't own no businesses up there that are selling these toys and all this other stuff during Christmas holidays, right? Hey man, keep your money in your pocket, right? Keep your money in your pocket, right? And then continue on to not get in debt and to pay your bills on time like you're supposed to, right? If you're going to have any kind of semblance for us to damn get away from these heathen, do not help them out, right? If any holiday, what is going on, hey man, we celebrate our own holy days, right? We need to start just stepping away from them, period. I mean, like all of our people, right? It needs to be a difference where they can see it. Like once that start happening, man, them heathen, that's when they're gonna start getting worried. That's when we're gonna start seeing persecution. And trust me, that's a good thing, right? Because you want to be persecuted for the Lord. All right. You want to be persecuted for the Lord, right? So let's go to Jeremiah 10 and 1 real quick, right? Brother Dan, you had something else you want to get real quick before I go to Jeremiah?
I do. In relation to what you were saying about, brother was saying about equality, I wanted to read something from Proverbs 29, verse 2. And it says, can you see it?
Yeah.
I got it.
Proverbs 29 and 2?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Bring it out.
Yeah, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So it's never going to be no equality as long as our people are under the heathens. It's going to either have to be we're ruling. That's the only way, because when was that time? During King David. And that's the time that we were kicking some ass, And the nations that rose up against us, they were destroyed, because that was like the peak of our height in our kingdom during King David, because the brotherhood was so strong, everything was in order, and we were keeping the laws. So but it's gonna come to that. Like brother said, once we start getting back, we go through this persecution, and that's how I do with his people. Guess what? This world is going to be getting back to his people, and we are going to rule with an iron rod. And these people are going to be slaves. They're not going to be servants; they're going to be slaves, because they got to get that work. Because if we had to suffer for the wickedness of our forefathers, even though we had a lot of people who are keeping the laws. And one thing you got to understand is what Most High, we move as a unit. We suffer together, we rejoice together, we rule together. There's no such thing as here 200 here are going to be set, on this high plane, and the rest of them have to suffer. No, Israel suffers all together. That's just the way it goes. And if we had to suffer for the sin of our forefathers, guess what? The heathens, they're going to suffer for the sins of their forefathers. Because they try to say, well, my forefather didn't do that to y'all. Your ass benefited from from all the slave labor and all that stuff. So they're gonna get that work. All right, bro.
God. Well, just to continue to building onto that point, this all we have to do is just do it as a people. Just step away from this heathen, right? We don't have to do no violence or any of that other stuff. Just whenever these heathen are doing their own thing, just let them do theirs, and we need to just start doing ours. It's just really simple. We need to make a separation. Right now, there's no separation of our people. Everything they doing, we doing. Right? They don't care about our holy days. Why the hell should we care about theirs? Right? They have just absolutely wiped our minds clean. Reprogrammed our whole people. Right? With millions of our Israelite brothers and sisters died. Right? Raped, robbed, and murdered, strung up, feathered, and tarred. Pulled apart by horses, teeth knocked out, heads cut off, right? And hung on trees. All to do what? To take away everything that we had as a people, right? We don't have one Israelite right now that we know that can speak, 100% the Paleo Hebrew, which is our God-given language. We don't have that right now because they're taking it from us. Right? We don't have none of our holy days, like I was saying earlier. We don't have anything like that because they have taken it from us. That alone should make you want to start studying these scriptures and want to, get down. We need to all get on one accord. All this over here, over there, because pride go up before the fall. right? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff among our people, right? We all have to get together with this stuff, right? You know, compare calendars, compare work, you know, things of that nature, and then, you know, come off this pride so we can get together on one accord and try to get the hell up out of here. Because if not, you know, we're just going to continue getting beat down by the white man, right? We're continuing to get, you know, disrespected by all these other heathen. But they can just, you know, they can just flood on into this nation, right? They didn't work to get none of this, right? You know, America was built on the backs of slaves, of our people, blood and bodies, right? Children, right? Out in the cotton field all day, the sun up, the sun up, the sun up, the sundown. Right, getting their backs beat in if they didn't pick it fast enough.
How do you think these white boys get their alligator shoes? You know what they did? You know what they did to the Israelite babies? They threw them to the alligators so that they can catch alligators and make alligator skin boots. That's why none of our people should be wearing no damn alligator skin boots, because that's what they did. I mean, these people, man, devious.
And it's not for hate, you know what I'm saying? And this is not for hate right here. This is just a reason that we should be doing our own damn thing, right? It's not, hey man, we can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't get mad at the heathen for doing what the Most High put the spirit on them to do, right? The Most High said that we was going to go in captivity on slave ships if we didn't keep the commandments, right? So we're paying for the sins of our forefathers, right? Because, you know, they don't do the commandments, and look at us, right? We're children of the wicked. We haven't done the commandments neither, right? But surely we're waking up slowly but surely, but you know, right now we got a long way to go.
And remember, you about to say something?
Oh no, man. Actually, I was trying to.
Remember, here's I want to share something with you, because you know we got to understand. You know, our captivities was the fault of our forefathers. You know, disobedient. But there's a cross between, you know, a thin line here, and I'm going to prove that to you. When you go to Zechariah 1:15, and you can write this down. I'll read it from here because I got another script that I want to share with you. But Zechariah 1:15. Now, y'all know that when you read Deuteronomy 28, when you read the first 14 chapters, the blessings, right? And then you read the curses. We knew that we were going to go into captivity. We knew that if we disobeyed the Most High, we were going to have to go through all this horrible stuff. But I'm going to tell you what the heathens did too, because they inflamed it. Now this is coming from the Word. This is Zechariah 1:15. It says, "And I'm very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. Why? For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction." So half of the stuff that our people was going through, y'all, all this terrible atrocity and stuff like that. This is what this is talking about. It was the heathens. Well, hell yeah, we should be angry at them. Hell yeah, we should want to kill them, because we can't. We can't go out and do that because of their laws and everything. You know, I just got that Nat Turner spirit in me, and that Gasper Yanga spirit in me. But you know, it's there's certain level of things that they've done to push it even forward, because the Most High meant to only teach us a lesson, but they took this thing to the whole max. This is why they're gonna suffer so greatly. Yeah. Now, but we're not off the hook, because yes, we are suffering from the sins of our forefathers and what they've done. So I want y'all to know the difference, you know, because you know we weren't supposed to go through, you know, this kind of stuff, not like this, Israel, not like this, not the way that it's going and been going, you know. And again, a lot of it is us, because we fell for the rope-a-dope during the civil rights movement, and you know, continue to go on a spiral until we can come out of that and really realize the dangers. I want to read this verse to you. This other verse is Proverbs 11 and verse 10 and 11. It says, "When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessings of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked." All right. And like Brother Aitan was saying earlier, you got to get back to these laws, commandments, and statutes, because that's where the power is going to be. All right. That is where our people are going to begin to see the light, because if they are groomed and stuck on these holidays, well, guess what? They're never going to see it. And I get it, you know. And we were at that point at one time too. We grew up in this system. We grew up in the schools and stuff, and they taught us this, and we learned this, and you know, the churches celebrated it. We grew up celebrating these wicked holidays, and we never questioned it. You know why? We never questioned it. And so now that our people are waking up, we need to come out these things quick. The Bible says, make haste. I made haste to keep the laws. That's what we got to do. All right, brother.
Oh, let me see here. What was I? Yeah. All right. I wanted to go to Jeremiah. All right. I do have a video too, right? Okay, it says here, I know you guys heard this 1,000 times by now, right? But, it won't hurt to go over one more time. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, right? Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? For they'll be out there saying, hey, look at the blood moon, and look at this, and look at that, and all of this foolishness that is going on, right? Man, Israel, me and Brother Daniel, man, we just here just politicking with y'all today because we really just want y'all just to come to the true understanding that we really have to, keep our own holidays, right? Our own holy days, right? It's not a play on words how these heathens try to switch out the I for a Y, right? You know what I'm saying? They call their holidays when we have holy days, right? It's some kind of, pseudo wickedness that we got to just stay focused. Like, hey, tell every brother or sister that hey, man, even if they're not in the truth, right? You got to appeal their sensibilities, right? To the same arguments, right? And the things that Brother Daniel and I have been saying tonight, that's the same kind of way that y'all guys need to approach it. Be like, why do you celebrate a day that was beat into your forefathers, right? As slaves, right? Have you ever questioned, right? Have you ever questioned whether or not, what is your feast days? What are your traditions? What are your customs as a people, before you went into slavery for those 400 years and got and got raped, robbed, and murdered for all them years, right? And then see if that doesn't appeal to the hearts of your people, right?
Yep. No, and exactly what you're saying right there, brother. It's a term for it. It's called what's it called? Stockholm syndrome. Y'all know what Stockholm syndrome is when someone is under their oppressor for so long that they become their slave. They become like their servants. So everything it's just like the house Negro. If the master is sick, he's sick, and master eats good, we eat good. We eat good, boss. And that slave master would do all he can to protect that slave master with his life, even if the slave master don't even care about his own life. The house Negro would protect that slave master with all his might, with all his ability, with all his strength, like never before. He would make sure that slave master was always protected. And that's why they would take. That's why the slave master would take the most broken Negro and put him above everybody else. The most trusted that he can trust, and they will keep all the other slaves in line, even whipping the slaves, and even doing atrocities and all that kind of stuff. And so that's the kind of sickness that our people are going through right now. It's called Stockholm syndrome. Look that word up because it's very devastating, and it's sad to see our people in that condition because our people will defend these damn holidays, all that stuff with all their heart, mind, and soul. They'll outdo the heathens trying to celebrate this mess. So,
this is a little bit dialing back. Yeah, this is a little bit dialing back to what we were talking about earlier, right? With these heathens and these lying stuff. And I was telling you about this this new spaceship that they have called Artemis, right? So I want y'all guys just to pay attention to this. It's some clips that are put together, but this shit spark some type of mental stimulation here. Let me go ahead and turn this music down. All right.
So keep those questions coming. Use that hashtag Artemis and tweet or drop them in the comments wherever you're watching this broadcast.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Some quick
programming. Like every great space mission, it starts with the launch. And here we go. 10. Hydrogen burn-off igniters initiate. 7, 6, 5. 4-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
To infinity and beyond. Today we got to witness the world's most powerful rocket take the earth by its edges and shake the wicked out of it. And it was quite a sight. It's quite a sight.
The views of our blue marble in the blackness of space, now capturing the imagination, now capturing the imagination of a new generation.
Really captures people's imagination.
The Artemis program's goal is to inspire the next generation.
Hey, I want y'all, when y'all listening to this, to be careful, right? I want y'all to understand the semantics, right? The semantics that they're using. They're capturing the imagination. You understand? This is not actual, right? These folks will never ever tell you the true reality of the situation, right? So you got to really pay attention to what's going on here, right?
I'm talking about the universe.
So keep those questions coming. Use that hashtag.
And here we go.
Here we go.
And hydrogen burn-off igniters initiate. 7, 6, 5. 4-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
To infinity and beyond. Today we got to witness the world's most powerful rocket take the earth by its edges and shake the wicked out of it. And it was quite a sight. It's quite a sight.
Right. You understand why they did that? Because that's an arc instead of for it to go straight up. Right. For you to get out of space, you have to go straight up, not no arc, and for the, keep on going till you can't damn see it no more. Right. That's what these heathens do. Right. These heathens did. You will never see the no matter where they take off from, you will never see. They're never going to land on the moon when it's a new moon. You understand? The heathens cannot get to the creation of the Most High.
The views of our blue marble in the blackness of space, now capturing the imagination, now capturing the imagination of a new generation.
Really captures people's imagination.
The Artemis program's goal is to inspire the next generation of
Dreamers.
We're all just dreaming.
Brave enough to dream.
Just capture my imagination every time.
I mean, again, this is why we're doing this.
It makes it seem a little bit easier to imagine. I could barely imagine.
I just cannot even imagine.
Seeing children and young and old, just all these people who feel captivated. Love this guy in the front with his NASA shirt.
Really fun to see again all these people who are captivated.
That's really cool that we might see and inspire people who totally look like cheerleaders, and they're embracing it. I love it.
Look at the goosebumps. That tells it all right here.
I'm still shaking a little bit. That
just took my breath away and I was tearing up.
It's surreal to me. Just insane. Just amazing.
Kind of still giddy and speechless.
It was pretty overwhelming.
One of the coolest things you'll ever see in your entire life.
I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling right now.
I feel the same way.
Amazing. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine that that's true. Kind of blows my mind. Almost hard to wrap your head around. A little unbelievable to me.
At all the science, this team, this professionalism, that performance.
One heck of a show.
They were so excited. Their faces, it was amazing.
Orion looking back at Earth as it travels toward the moon, 57,000 miles away from the place we call home.
You say that the video is going to be delayed. Can we get a more approximate time frame as to how long it's going to be until we're going to actually get to see this video? What sort of quality is the video going to be? And finally, can you just kind of explain why we're not getting to see these images live? I mean, I believe the Apollo 11 landing was broadcast live.
Why now don't we have the technology to see all of this live?
We're going to downlink that video as fast as we can. Unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit of time, a little slower than we might have want, but as soon as we get the data down, video processing folks will be processing that.
It takes a team, though, to bring the imagery of Orion down to Earth.
Imagery has been invaluable throughout the history of
antics.
We have folks that
literally have to look through every still image and every video that's released.
We are expecting to provide some good imagery.
Video and pretty pictures,
and we're being as transparent as we can here.
It's incredibly complicated, incredibly challenging.
I would just, again, ask for a little bit of patience, just taking a little bit of time.
So is there going to be any more engineering footage from the launch offered? And we've been expecting more views. not only of the mission, but also from the launch pad?
This is a phenomenon we will expect to continue throughout the rest of the mission.
In terms of more media release, yes, absolutely. We will share footage from the launch. There are many other customers, science customers that use the Deep Space Network. There is a capacity that we share there with other customers, but the data that is on the ground, we do need to go through that.
Video processing folks will be processing that.
We have to look through every still image and every video that's released.
So again, I would just ask for your patience and let us work through that process, and we will absolutely share what we can as soon as it's available.
Amazing, right? Because back when they first did the Apollo launch, man, they were alive the whole time, right? Not only that, but they had made a call from the moon on the rotary phone, right? But today they're having problems when it's all these many years ago and all this super technology that we have, and then we're having all these problems. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, like, if people believe that this is, I mean, like, people are asking questions because they're waking up, right? That this is a lie, right? You cannot get to the moon.
We've seen a number of issues with file transfers, but obviously, imagery, we love it.
Imagery has been invaluable throughout the history of NASA.
We want to share it as much as we can. We want to record it, but if we're having issues getting it off of the vehicle,
I mean, I believe the Apollo 11 landing was broadcast live.
actually slows the effort to share things with the team. And
Why now don't we have the technology to see all of this live?
we did have a number of communications glitches. We had either forward or return link problems. Jim, do you have anything to add in terms?
Yeah, you know what? How would you have these? I mean, but all the you kidding me? For all these many years ago, you didn't. You could easily pull off the technology, but now today, all of a sudden, you're having glitches when they have it with what was it, 1960-year-old technology? Come on, man, hell up out of here.
The anomalies.
I love that we've got a media team that is as excited about what we're doing as y'all are.
Tom Costello with NBC, Kristen Fisher with CNN, The Atlantic, Reuters, BAP, Bloomberg.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
All you have to do is walk into a classroom of kids and look how their eyes get big when you start talking about space.
We will be.
You understand what they're talking about? That's programming. They're going in the kids starting when you're early. That's why they put these, big ball, programs on, when they start the movies out, all of this stuff, man. They get you when you're young to start believing in this kind of nonsense, right? So you can give you $1 billion sinkhole that is NASA, tell them what these heathen doing with that money, all right? But they're just taking it from you.
Passing over, some of the Apollo landing sites. Unfortunately, they're going to be in the darkness. They will not be sunlit, so we won't get very good video of them.
Only a few people have been able to go.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Hey, you heard that? They're saying that the footprints and the stuff that the supposed old astronauts had did when they're on the moon, that's supposed to last for like 100 years. Oh, they're not going to be able to see it this go round. They're not going to be able to take video footage of it this go round because it's on the dark side of the moon. Right? Are you kidding me right now? I thought they said that the moon doesn't rotate. We all know the moon doesn't rotate. It stays in, you only see one side of the moon, and that's the side that they landed on, right? Well, supposedly. That's a lie right there.
Go to space, only available to some of us. So we really want to share what that's like and the perspective we gain from our time up there. We train for everything, and so when we're in that capsule waiting for launch, we're just running our procedures.
You could almost, trick us
and say that we were in the simulator and it wasn't real, but
Space is real.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this, but we see the moon here, and the trajectory of the rocket looked like it was flying towards me. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, that's so poetic.
Show you a 3D model.
This is a live view from the spacecraft. Again, a really short burn. We're standing by for the cutoff.
Or show you, kind of the graphic.
10B-2 engine produces about 24,000 pounds of thrust in a vacuum.
Some quick programming.
You could almost, trick us.
Had over a dozen funnies on the list. Issues, glitches, phenomenon, problems, anomalies.
Love this guy in the front with his NASA shirt. So keep those questions coming.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the video.
Right. Let you know the lies and everything that these people are just trying to cover up.
Kind of.
They can't keep it for long.
And the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 21, for like as the ground is given unto wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. These damn heathen ain't going to outer space. You understand? They can't get there. There's nothing. The only way you can get there is to build your own blocks, which is why the Most High had struck down, right, the Tower of Babel, right, because they were building an actual structure to get up there. You know what I'm saying? Now these heathen think they can get there in spaceships and all that kind of stuff is absolutely impossible. You got to just think of it. I mean, like, if we just use your brain, and you know that the higher you get, the less atoms that you have, right, the less particles, the air particles that you have, right? So that would automatically mean, and you know how engines run, they run off the air particles, right? They suck in the amount of air, right, compacted, and they shoot it out as thrust or whatever kind of, you know. And even if you bring your own rocket boosters, once you get to so high, right, the only way that you can move over here with any kind of thrust is because you're using the atmosphere that around you to boost off of, right? But if you go to a point where you're so high, you have nothing to boost off of. If you have any, like nothing to push against, right, there it's impossible for you to move, right? So the Most High is not worried about, right, the pseudoscience of the white man, right? Because they're not even intelligent enough to figure that out, right? Smart, you know what I'm saying? If they truly could get to the moon, right, you know what I'm saying, these heathens would have built some kind of tower, right, or some kind, with all the billions that they're spending, they could have easily compiled all that money and built some kind of 20-year project and built a tower, right? But why they didn't build a tower is because they know they're not stupid and they know that the scriptures are real, right? You can't build no tower to get there, right? The Most High is not going to allow that to happen. So they keep you fooled with this buffoonery of these so-called spaceships and Star Trek and Star Wars and all this other madness that they got going on that of course is good for fantasy and all that other nonsense, but as far as reality is concerned, man, the Most High, no, you can't get out of it, right? You cannot get to the moon. It's absolutely foolishness.
Right. Hey, brother, we had a question I wanted to get right quick. It says about the feast day. It says I got one more question about the feast days. When the feast of dedication starts, when the Shabbat is over, are we not the worst? Yeah, thank you, brother. Let me scroll down. So the feast of dedication, and then there was another question about somebody saying that are we gonna go live? Yeah, we will go live on the first day sunset of the feast of dedication. So if you look at the calendar right now, the feast of dedication and Purim are the only ones that don't have a feast Shabbat. But however, this starts on sunset Shabbat, so the 10th of the sundown, which is going to be the 24th of the ninth month, is when the feast of dedication is going to begin. And then it's an 8-day feast, so it's going to go all the way through the Shabbat. So the Shabbat, of course, the 31st of the ninth month, you treat it just like a Shabbat. And then it ends sunset on Sunday on the first day of the 10th month.
That's right.
So that should answer your question or anything. So yeah, so there are no feast Shabbats in this in the feast of dedication. And then when we go live and we do the lesson, we'll go through and why and what the whole feast of dedication was all about and everything.
That's right. Bring that out.
Yeah. But Israel, wow, we just, like brother said, we just wanted to just chop it up with you all and show you the importance of these of the Most High's holy days, and got to get more into them. But I wanted to see if anybody had any questions before we all let you all get to the new moon celebration, because I got my menorah ready, got my frankincense and myrrh ready. Ready to get it. I'm ready to get it on.
That's what I'm talking about, Doc.
So if anybody don't have any questions, we're gonna go ahead and unless you got anything, brother.
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Let's try to keep these commandments, Israel.
That's right. Well, Israel, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we got a good lesson for you tomorrow. Roles and responsibility of the Israelite man. So make sure you spread the word. You don't want to miss that one. So
that's right.
We'll be hammering some things out. And so again, make sure you share and smash that like button.
Hey,
And
brothers, right? Any brothers we got on? Tomorrow when we drop the when we drop the link, hey, somebody said be sure to click it and come on, right? So we can hear some of your perspectives.
Yeah.
And then what do you think? Because tomorrow's going to be a really a really good one for you, brothers, to have your big boy pants on.
That's right.
Right. So we're going to be talking about some real things dealing with our nation right here. All right. So when we put down the link, brother Daniel and myself, we can't think of every damn thing all the time. So, just be sure to click the link and add your, add whatever the Spirit puts on you, right? Because we're all kings and priests, right? Well, the ones that keep the commandments, anyways. All right. So let's get it in tomorrow.
That's right. All right, Israel. We say Happy New Moon, and since it is a Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you on tomorrow evening.
Khan, Shabbat Shalom, Yashallah.
Shalom, and stay strong.